Have you ever wondered why the Israel-Palestine conflict, despite numerous attempts at resolution, continues to persist? This conflict, a focal point of international attention, originates from a complex historical narrative. Let's go back to the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The emergence of Zionism, a nationalist movement advocating for the re-establishment of a Jewish homeland in the territory defined as the historic land of Israel, set the stage for the conflict. The Balfour Declaration of 1917, a public statement issued by the British government, expressed support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. This was met with stiff resistance from the Arab inhabitants of the region. The partition of Palestine in 1947 by the United Nations further intensified the conflict. This plan proposed the creation of separate Jewish and Arab states, with Jerusalem under international administration. However, the borders, land ownership, and the status of Jerusalem became points of contention, resulting in a series of wars and uprisings, also known as intifadas. These historical events have deeply ingrained the conflict into the fabric of Israel-Palestine relations. The struggle over land, identity, and sovereignty continues to fuel the conflict, making it one of the most protracted and contentious issues in contemporary history. In understanding this conflict, it is crucial to recognize that it is deeply rooted in history and has shaped the political landscape of the Middle East. Several key events have marked the course of the Israel-Palestine conflict, each contributing to its complexity. The 1948 Arab-Israeli War, also known as the War of Independence, was a pivotal moment in the history of this conflict. Following the United Nations' decision to partition Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states, neighboring Arab countries launched an attack on the newly formed State of Israel. The war ended with an Israeli victory and led to a significant displacement of Palestinians. The Six-Day War in 1967 was another landmark event. It saw Israel capture the West Bank, Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem from Jordan, Egypt, and Syria respectively. This war not only altered the geographical boundaries in the region but also intensified the conflict as Israel started establishing settlements in these areas. The late 20th century witnessed two significant uprisings, the First and Second Intifadas. These Palestinian uprisings against Israeli occupation were characterized by widespread protests, violence, and economic struggles, further straining the relations between Israelis and Palestinians. Fast forward to recent times, the U.S. recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital under President Donald Trump in 2017 marked a significant shift in American policy. This decision sparked widespread protest and violence, as Palestinians also claim East Jerusalem as the capital of a future Palestinian state. In the face of these historical events, the peace process has been a rocky road. Each event has left its mark on the geopolitical landscape and the living conditions of Israelis and Palestinians. The pursuit of peace has been marred by political disagreements, territorial disputes, and cycles of violence. These events have not only escalated the conflict but also made the path to peace more challenging and convoluted. What does the road to resolution look like for the Israel-Palestine conflict? It's a question that has been pondered by world leaders and scholars alike. Many advocate for a two-state solution, where Israel and a sovereign Palestine would exist side by side in peace. This solution, long favored by the international community, is one that U.S. President Joe Biden has pledged to support. However, the path to this outcome is far from clear, with opposition within Israeli politics and the expansion of settlements in the occupied West Bank posing significant hurdles. The role of international diplomacy is critical in navigating these challenges. Efforts to bring both sides closer together, even when conditions for negotiation seem unfavorable, are vital. Yet it's not just about political maneuvering. Mutual recognition and respect for human rights must be at the heart of any lasting resolution. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas has voiced concerns about the potential for a one-state reality, where equal political rights for all would need to be recognized. This underscores the importance of ongoing dialogue and negotiation. While the path to peace is fraught with difficulties, the hope for a just and lasting resolution remains alive. It's a road that requires commitment, understanding, and above all, a shared vision for a peaceful future.